good day, and welcome to a brand new edition of Sports Hub with Ebere. My name is Ebere Oji, your anchor, your host on the show, being aired on Spotify for podcasters. Here on the show, we bring to you live updates on sporting events, games, and activities all over the world. You are welcome once again. Today is the 19th day in the month of January 2025. It's our first edition of the year. Yes, first edition of the year. Yeah. And on this show, we tend to talk about everything has to do with footballing activities being our center of reference. However, in the course of the year, we'll be talking not just football, but tennis, basketball, as women's basketball, cut across all fronts. Yeah. So you are welcome once again. Yesterday we had a couple of games in the EPL played. It is the 22nd game week 22. You know what's played yesterday in the EPL, and well, we had a couple of very funny results. Why I call them funny results? Because at the tail end, Liverpool were on the verge of losing. Yes, they were on the verge of drawing a game. Yes, they were on the verge of drawing a game yesterday, and against Brentford at Brentford's home turf, but it did not happen. A certain Darwin Nunez. People say the rejected stone became the chief cornerstone. That was exactly what happened with Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez is a player that he would have 10 chances and he just scores one. Do you get? He's not a kind of striker that you rely 100% on getting results for you. But he came in as a sub and he scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. He scored at the 91st minute and scored the second goal, making it a brace and a perfect win and it slots Liverpool. Liverpool, they've had ups and downs. Against the Nottingham Forest side, they drew. They drew against the Nottingham Forest side. They drew, and yesterday they struggled to score goals. They struggled to convert chances. The likes of Gapo had opportunity to score, but I don't know what happened. He did not score. The game ended 2 goals to nil yesterday. At the end of the day, it was Darwin Nunez, an unlikely source, came in and scored a goal. Newcastle yesterday stunned everyone at the St James Park. Newcastle, so far, they are forming their last 5-6 games. In fact, they've won games. They've won a couple of games, back to back. With Isak scoring goals, being prolific. But sadly, yesterday it was not just meant to be for them. It was not meant to be for them. They did not win that game at the St James Park. In fact, I can't remember the last time a Newcastle side lost a game. They've been having W's all through since. They've been having W's all through against Leicester, against Brentford, against Ipswich, Aston Villa. They've gotten scored good goals, with Isak scoring goals against Man City, Man United, not Tottenham, even Arsenal in the EFL semi-finals, Burnley in the FA Cup. Like, they've been winning games. Just last week, they won against Wolves at this same St James Park Stadium. They won against Wolves 3-0. And going into this game, I felt they were favourites against Bournemouth, but it did not happen. They lost at home against the Bournemouth side by 4-1. That game, it was stunning for everyone, especially the punters that had carried a Newcastle side by 3 straight win, or maybe scoring goals, or Isaks. For those that tend to play FPL managers, over 1.3 million plus FPL managers captained Isak. I captained Isak, but he did not score. In fact, he had just a shot, and that shot was not even on target. It was not a good one for them at the St James Park Stadium. Unfortunately, they lost, and Bournemouth won. So kudos to Arela. Arela has been doing well. That's the Bournemouth head coach. He's been doing fantastically well. Like, they've been getting results against big sides, top sides. Presently, they are on 6th place. They are on 6th place with 37 points. They have so far won 10 games out of the 22. They have drawn 7 and they have lost 5. So they've won more games than they have lost and they have drawn. So it's a good one for them. 37 points is a good one. This is a Bournemouth side. Over time, in the last 2-3 seasons, they've always struggled to avoid relegation. But look at what they are doing under their manager. Their manager joined them last season and they've been doing well with him. So kudos to Bournemouth. Hard luck for Newcastle. Well, that's the game of football. Anything can happen in the game of football. That game ended 1 goal to 4. That is Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 4. Brentford lost at home. This is their 3rd defeat of the season. To tell you that Brentford's home turf is a fortress. Is a fortress. But so far they have lost 3 games at home. They lost against Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, and just yesterday against Liverpool by 2 goals to nil at home. It was going to end a draw, but Darwin Nunez said no, no, not this time. He had a brace in the game against Brentford. Leicester City under Ruud Van Nistelrooy has not been great so far. In their last 5 games, they've lost 5 games, 6 games. In fact, they've been losing, and you ask yourself, was this a wrong decision by Ruud Van Nistelrooy to have taken this position? Probably he would have just gone back to the to Netherlands, to chill, look for a good team there and manage. But I feel he wanted to challenge himself in the EPL, and it's not gone according to plan. They lost at home against a Fulham side. West Ham under um Graham Potter lost the game. Yes, they lost the game under Graham Potter. Their first league defeat under Graham Potter at home. They lost to Crystal Palace by 2 goals to nil at home. It's a sad one. It's a sad one for them. It's a sad one for them. They got a red card, but then well, they should have at least gotten something out of this game. Arsenal was the last game that was played in the EPL yesterday. Arsenal were 2 goals up at the 60th minute, but in fact, they were 2 goals up. At the 55th minute of that game, they were 2 goals up. I don't know what happened, but in 8 minutes, they conceded 2 goals that would have been avoided. Yes, 2 goals that would have been avoided in that game. Martinelli scored. Havertz tipped in. Martinelli scored and Kai Havertz tipped in at the 55th minute of the game. Martinelli scored at 35 minutes of the game, just few minutes before halftime, and a few minutes after halftime, as in when the second half started, they scored a goal. Kai Havertz, scored a goal. It was Tosun had 2 assists. He had a hand in 2 goals. In the 2 goals scored yesterday for Arsenal, for Arteta's side, and we are like, okay, fine. Arteta would Arsenal would give Liverpool a run for their money, but it was not meant to be, because 5 minutes after Kai Havertz's goal, Telemann scored, and 8 minutes after that Teleman's goal, Oli Watkins scored a very beautiful goal. These were goals that would have been avoided. Arsenal thought they had won it with Kai Havertz. Actually, Kai Havertz had a hand in the goal in the kick Merino played at the 80th minute of the game, but VAR called it, chopped it off as a handball. It was a handball and it was chopped off. So the game ended 2-2, and you ask yourself, Arsenal fans, they were angry yesterday. They were angry yesterday. But who would blame the fans? They need more. Today is 19th January, and the transfer market for the winter transfer market, the January transfer market, will be ending on the 3rd of February. But so far, no player has been linked to Arsenal. They've got a lot of injury concerns, a lot of injury concerns, and you ask yourself, why exactly is Arsenal not doing anything in the transfer market? Their talisman Saka is out injured. Nothing has been done to that effect. The talisman Saka is injured. Nothing has been done to that effect. Why? What's happening? What exactly is happening? What's happening? It's not good. It's not good at all. Saka is out injured. Gabriel Jesus is injured. Saliba had a knock, had a kind of an hamstring scare. Like, they've got injuries in their back line. They've got injuries in their front line. What is happening? And they're not doing anything in transfer market. I know I'm not the coach. I am not the owner of Arsenal Football Club. But for you to challenge for the title, you need reinforcements. Look at the Man City side. Man City so far, they've had, up and down with this season. They've got over 7 defeats or 8 defeats so far. But look at, they have been active in the transfer market. They've gotten in up. They've gotten in good players. They've reinforced themselves because they know they don't want to end outside top 4. These players they are bringing in, I'm not saying that they would kick off immediately or they will pick up immediately, but they are new faces that are coming. That they are coming in to help the team. But Arsenal, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And the sooner they understand, tell themselves the truth that they need reinforcement to challenge for anything this year, the better for them. Moving on to the games for today, we've got a couple of games that will be played today. So far, well, let me just go through the games that was played yesterday. Newcastle lost against Bournemouth. They lost at home at the St James Park Stadium by 1-4. Bournemouth scored 4 against Newcastle, with Justin Colvert, scoring 3 goals yesterday. He scored 3 goals. Yeah, is that Patrick used to play for Newcastle, but now the father is the head coach for Indonesia national team side. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he also had a hand in the goal that was scored, making it 4 goals yesterday. He scored 3 goals. He scored at the 6th minute, 44th minute and the 90 plus 2 minutes, and also had a hand in the game, as in the goal that was scored by M. Kakes. Kakes scored the fourth goal against a Newcastle side. Now, moving on to other games that was played yesterday, but Brentford lost to Liverpool by 2 goals to nil at their home turf. Brentford nil, Liverpool 2. Leicester lost at home at the King Power Stadium. The defeats keeps coming and coming and coming. Leicester nil, Fulham 2. West Ham lost at home. In fact, the home games, there was nobody won at home yesterday. Nobody won at home yesterday. They won the ball at one at home yesterday. West Ham lost against Crystal Palace by 1 goal to nil. I mean 2 goals to nil. Why Arsenal drew to Aston Villa 2-2 yesterday. Now moving on to the game for today. We've got a couple of games that will be played from 3 p.m. Today. Of course, the WSL games have started. We have Tottenham. Tottenham women are already winning Leicester women by 1 goal to nil. It is 38 minutes now. We've got Arsenal women versus Crystal Palace women by 3 p.m. West Ham women will take on Chelsea women by 4 p.m. That's a London derby as well. And finally, the Manchester derby will be taking place by 7:45. It is Manchester City women versus Man United women by 7:45. Moving on to the EPL games that will be played today. Everton will take on Tottenham Hotspur by 3 p.m. Yes, Everton will take on Tottenham Hotspur by 3 p.m. Everton, they sacked Sean Dyche. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, we had to go for a short music break. Yes, yeah. In as soon as a podcast, there we tend to have music break, little music break. So Everton will take on Tottenham Hotspur by 3 p.m. We've got three games that we played by 3 p.m. Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur by 3 p.m. Manchester United will take on Brighton by 3 p.m. And finally, Nottingham Forest will take on Southampton by 3 p.m. The last game for today is the game between Ipswich and Manchester City. That game will be played by 5:30 p.m. today. So we have Everton, Tottenham Hotspur 3 p.m. Manchester United versus Brighton 3 p.m. Nottingham Forest, one of the most informed side in the league. Nottingham Forest versus Southampton by 3 p.m. And finally, Ipswich will take on Manchester City by 3 p.m. Now let's double into the games that will be played today, more like a pre-match analysis. Everton, they've not been great so far. I can't remember the last time. In fact, the last time an Everton won a game was in the FA Cup. It was against Peterborough by 2 goals to nil, and they've not been it so far. They've not been. Aston Villa won at Everton's home turf. This is an Everton's home turf that has been, very, very hard for top teams to thrive in. They won there. Aston Villa won there last week, and now they will be playing against. David Moyes is the new manager. He lost his first game as Everton's head coach. He will be in charge of this game against. It's a tough game. It's going to be a tough game because they are currently fighting relegation. They are on 16th place. They don't want to get relegated. That's one thing, and that is one of the reasons as to why they sacked Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche, yeah, fine. He got good results for not really good results, but okay results based on where they are presently on the league table. Presently, Everton are on 16 players, I'm correct, 16 players with 17 points, and they'll be out to ensure that they don't lose today, because a defeat for them, it's going to be relegation battle, because the difference between Ipswich on 18th place and Everton on 16th place is just 1 point. Everton are on 17 points, while Ipswich are on 16 points. So a win for Ipswich against Manchester City would actually take them top, like they'll take them out of relegation battle, but I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening for Ipswich. Man City will be winning Ipswich by they will be winning Ipswich fair and square. They should be winning Ipswich fair and square. Now Everton, in their last game, their form, they've not been okay so far. They've not been it at all. They've not been it at all. They've not been it at all, and they will be facing a Tottenham side that has been off and on, off and on, off and on. You ask yourself, what exactly does Tottenham want out of this game? And Postecoglou, they're on 14th place. It's not been a fairy tale season for Tottenham. They've been up and down. They are presently on 15th place with 24 points. Yeah, 15th place with 24 points. They have lost 11 games this season. won 7. They've played 21 games. They won 7. They drew 3 and they've lost 11. That's a terrible, a shambolic result. A defeat for Ange Postecoglou today would see him get sacked because I don't see Daniel Levy might not be lenient because where they are on the league table is not, it's not okay. I know they're not winning the league, they're not going to win the league, but then 15th place, come on, they are fighting relegation. Like, come on, it doesn't speak well for Tottenham. It doesn't speak well. The kind of players they have, you can't compare them to the players Everton has. This game is going to be a tough game. The last time both teams met, that was at the beginning of the season. The game ended 4 goals to 0 in favor of Tottenham, and Tottenham will be aiming to get maximum points to at least get themselves off that 15th place they are. It's not a good one for them. It's going to be a straight win for me. For me to predict, it's going to be a straight win for Tottenham. Everton should try again later. Except there will be an upset. You know, in EPL, in football generally, it's an unpredictable sport. Anything can happen. But in this game, I'm taking this prediction to the bank that Tottenham should be winning against Everton. If they don't win this game, then I feel Angie should be going. Angie should be going for it. Angie should just be going because it doesn't speak well. It doesn't speak well at all for Angie Postecoglou, and of course for Tottenham. They've got good players. They've got good players. So I don't see them. I don't know why they're struggling to get maximum points in games such as this. I don't see them. I don't think that they'll be getting nothing less than a 3 points. Not even a draw. A draw is not good enough. A draw for Tottenham against Everton is not good enough at all. So it is Everton versus Tottenham by 3 p.m. The next 3 p.m. game, it is Manchester United against Brighton. Manchester United won their last game. It was quite an interesting game against Southampton. That game was aiming to get to a draw, or maybe because after Southampton scored, it was an own goal by Ugarte, and the game ended 4 goals to 1. It ended 3 goals to 1, rather. It ended 3 goals to 1 with Ahmad scoring 3 goals. He scored a hat trick, a first hat trick for Ahmad, a first hat trick before he scored a hat trick before Rashford. He scored a hat trick before Saka. He scored a good hat trick, and kudos to Amorim. This season, Man United has not won back-to-back EPL games. They'll be aiming to win a game against against the Brighton side. Brighton are not pushovers. The last time both teams played, Brighton won this game. Won this fixture, this reverse fixture at the beginning of the season by 2 goals to 1 against a Manchester United side. They've won against Man United at home before. Last season at Man United's Old Trafford ground, they won there by 3 goals to 1. 3 goals to 1, and we'll see what happens. Back-to-back wins for Brighton at Manchester City's home turf. Manchester United, rather. Why am I even say Manchester City? Probably because the two Manchester clubs will be playing today. One will play by 5:30, while the other one will play by 3 p.m. But it is Man United I'm talking about now. The last 2 visits for Brighton on this home turf, Brighton won those games fair and square. That they scored good goals. But now this is an Amorim side. Amorim is not a Ten Hag. Amorim so far has defied the odds. Like in the first 10, 11 games for Amorim, it was not good. But so far, these players, gradually they've started keying into his ideology, a 3-4-3 ideology about the game, how the game is to be played, and they've gotten results, good results, against big side. Brighton is not a big side. They won a game against Southampton last week, that is Man United, and I see Man United getting a win against a Brighton side. It's going to be a tough game, but if they turn up well, Dalot will be back. So Dalot will be back. He was given a suspension, a second yellow card in their last game, 2 games before now, and despite all odds, United did not lose that. Did not lose that game against Arsenal. Did not lose the game against Arsenal. And yes, last week they won. Not a few days ago they won against Southampton. I feel they are on a progressive stride. To win this game against Brighton. Yes, Brighton may have won at Old Trafford back-to-back in their last 2 visits at Old Trafford, but I don't see that happening. This is a new manager, which is new ideology, which is new game plan, and I believe that they would go ahead, as in Man United would go ahead to get maximum points. Even if they don't get 3 points, they should be getting a draw. They're not going to lose all 3 points against Brighton. My prediction for this game should be a 2-1 in favor of Man United. Let's see what happens at the end of the day. Yes, let's see what happens at the end of the day. The next game is a game between the most informed team in the league and the side on 20th place. Yes, the most informed team in the league is Nottingham Forest, they've been massive. They've been massive. Their form in the league alone, like in their last 5 games, they have won four and they've drawn one. They've gotten the most points at home. At home, yes, at home. They've not really at home. At home, they've gotten 5 wins. They played 10 games at home. They've gotten 5 wins, 3 draws, and just 2 defeats out of the 5 games that have been played. Out of the 10 games that have been played at home, so their home form is nice. Their home form is nice. I won't say same for Southampton. Southampton at home, they've just won out of 10 games at home. They've won just one, they've drawn one, and they've lost 8. And they'll be going to a side that are yet to taste a defeat in the league. They are yet to taste a defeat in the league in the last. In fact, the last time a Nottingham Forest lost was at the beginning on the 4th of December. That was the last time they lost at home. They have won. They've played 21 games and they have won 12. They've drawn 5 and they have lost just 4. They've scored massive goals. They've scored a lot of. They've scored 30 goals. They've they've yes, they've scored 30 goals so far. They have considered 20, but then they have at least plus 10 on the log. They have 41 points on the league table, and they are sitting currently on third place. I don't see any other thing other than a win for Nottingham Forest. I don't see a Southampton winning them. Nah, it's not possible. I don't see a Southampton winning them at all, at all, at all. This is a straight win for Nottingham Forest. Nuno Espirito de Santos is doing massively well. He's doing well. So kudos to them. This is a straight win for them. And now Ipswich versus Man City. Man City have done some recruitment. Well, I don't think the recruitment will be playing out today, probably from the next game or thereabout. Omar Mamush will be joining officially this week. We should be getting a formal announcement and all that. He'll be joining from Frankfurt, and so far he has scored 18 goals and 12 assists. He's coming to the league, to a new league, highly recommended. The Egyptian is coming to the league, highly recommended. Salah will be getting a fellow Egyptian in the league, playing alongside. Not though they're not in the same team, but he's going to be playing for a rival team, right? It's this game, Ipswich versus Man City. The first time they met this season, Man City won that game by 2 goals to 0. Yes, Man City won that game by 4 goals to 1. Yes, Man City won that game by 4 goals to 1. I don't see anything other than a Man City win. Yes, it's an away game. Ipswich are no match for Man City. Ipswich are on 18th place, and Man City will be aiming, to get maximum points. A win for Man City. Man City are currently on 8th place, right? They are on 8th place. But however, looking at what the league looks like, a win for Man City will take them to 5th place. Yes, they will overthrow Chelsea, that is on 5th place, and they'll be on 5th place. Yeah, because they are on 35 points now, and Chelsea is on 37 points. A win for Manchester City will take them to 5th place, displacing Chelsea on 5th. They'll be on 5th place with 38 points. A win for them. I don't see that not happening. I don't see that at all not happening. They've started picking up points. 10 wins so far. Five draws and 6 defeats. But it doesn't look as though anything happened to them. Like, I know they had a couple of down moments, but they are back. And they are winning games. They drew against Brentford, but I feel they will return back to winning ways against an Ipswich, a relegation threatened Ipswich side. So it's going to be a win for Manchester City. And Haaland just yesterday, day before yesterday on Friday, he signed a new contract, a new and improved. When players sign new and improved contracts, who's here maybe 3 years, 2 years, at most 5 years. But Haaland added extra 4.5 to 5 years. He signed a 9.5. That's a 9.5 contract. I feel Haaland is on a 550, 600 per week salary. With this big, huge extension, his salary should be like a million plus. I know maybe after 5 years he'll renew based on PSR and all that, but it is a 9.5 overall contract, and you ask yourself, who is going to gain at the end of it? Is it a Haaland or a Man City side? Is it Man City that will be gaining at the end of the day, or is it Haaland and his entourage that will be gaining? To me, I feel it's Haaland, because he has secured his future for nine and a half seasons. No team, not just in the EPL, but no team will pay Haaland 1 million. Nah, I know he's a fantastic striker, but no team will want to pay that huge amount. It is just Man City that can do that. And I feel even if Man City at the end of the 150 130 count charge, they go down, I don't think they want. If they are cutting Haaland loose, it's going to be a very huge salary, as in I don't see him having taking a pay cut because he was on his own and they gave him a 9.5 contract. Of course, he had just secured his future. Man City will say, okay, fine, they have secured their best player in case anything happens to them in the future. What if nothing happens to them? They'll be paying a player 1 million. What if another player comes in, maybe somewhere a fantastic player comes in and start performing ahead of Haaland? Of course, they wouldn't want Haaland wouldn't want them to cut down his salary. I'm not looking at it from a bad perspective, but I'm looking at it from all perspectives. I feel Haaland is the person that is winning at the end of the day. 9.5 years on a 1 million per year. That's massive. That's massive. That's massive. So kudos. It's a win-win situation. And at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for Man City and of course for Haaland especially. He should be scoring against an Ipswich side. What are your predictions, guys? Tomorrow is Monday Night Football. We will have Chelsea Wolves playing tomorrow. Chelsea Wolves will be playing tomorrow. But for today, it is Everton Tottenham by 3. Man United will play Brighton by 3. Nottingham Forest will play Southampton by 3. And finally, by 5:30, we have Ipswich. Ipswich will take on Manchester City. The lineup for the games for Everton is out. This is well, David Moyes will see what he has for us today. Today, Jordan Pickford makes, of course, he's the the goalie in between the sticks for Everton. We have Jack O'Brien, we have James Tarkowski, Jan Brightwaite, and Vitaly Mikilenko in the defense. It's a 4-2-3-1. Ole Malanga, Idrissa Gui, Jesper Lindstrom, Dakore, and Liman Ndaye, and of course Dominica Lauren Calvert Lewin will be leading the attack. It is in a 4-2-3-1. Now let's look at what Tottenham has. Tottenham has Kinski, because their two goalies are out injured. We have DJ Spence, Ben Davies, Draxin, Pedro Porro, the four-man defense. You see the 4-2-3-1. Pepe Matassa, Angie Achegre. We have Lucas Begerville, James Madison, Kulusevski, and Son will be leading the line. Well, and like I said earlier, this should be a straight win for Tottenham. Even a draw itself is questionable. A draw is questionable. For Man United, let's see what Man United has. Man United, yes, let's see what Man United has. This is going to be more like we're wrapping up the show. We're wrapping up the show, yeah. For Man United, we have Andre Onana in between the sticks. Lenny Yoro, the Leeds is a 3-man. That's a 3-4-2-1. The Leeds, Harry Maguire, yes. Then we have Mazwari. Dalot is back. Like I said earlier, he has served his punishment. Ugarte and Kobe Mino at the heart of the midfield. Then Amad Diallo and Bruno Fernandes, and of course, Joshua Zexi makes it. Most times, Joshua Zexi does well when he comes from the bench. But let's see what happens because he's starting up. He's leading the pack. Today is in a 3-4-2-1. Amad Diallo is a player everyone will look at. Look out for. Amad Diallo scored a hat-trick in his last game and signed a new contract, and he has rewarded that new contract with a hat-trick of goals. He will be out to score a goal or two or even to assist today against a Brighton side. For Brighton, we have Danny Welbeck leading the pack. We have Mitoma is back. Wow, Mitoma. Joe Pedro is back. This is going to be a very, very tough game. Joe Pedro is back from injury. Yakuba Minte is back while he's playing. Excuse me. Yasin Yari is there. Carlos Baleba is also playing. Estupinan. This is going to be a very, very tough game. Estupinan is in the okay. Now let's start from the defense line. First off, their goalie is what's his name? But Vibugran, yes, he's their goalie. Pevis Estopinan is there. Louis Donk, John Paul Van Heckel, Joe Wittmann, yes, that's for their defense line. Yasin Ayari and Carlos Baleba, they are players in the midfield. He's playing a 4-2-3-1. Karo Mitoma, Joe Pedro, and Minte in as the forwards. Then of course we have Daniel Welbeck that has refused to retire. Daniel Welbeck will be leading the pack as the striker. Yeah, so it's a 4-2-3-1. It's going to be a tough game. Let's see what happens. What are your predictions in this game? I feel, or I predict, Man United should be winning this game, or maybe getting a draw against a Brighton set. What are your predictions in the game for today? Can you state your predictions in the comment section? This is me saying, well, I wish them all the very best. The teams that we're playing today, I wish them the very best. May the best team win. That's what has always been my adage. May the best team win. At the end of the day, we just want to enjoy the game of football. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to our podcast for today. After the games for today, we will be doing a post match analysis. This is more like a pre match analysis. After the games, we'll be doing a post match analysis. Thank you very much. My name remains Abere Oji, your uncle or your host on this segment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and well, enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is me saying Happy New Year once again. All the best. All the best. Bye.